Duke of Kent finally replaces Camilla with Catherine to lead the Order of the Garter, a major shift in the royal family. In a move that has stunned royal watchers around the world, the Duke of Kent has officially appointed Catherine to lead the prestigious Order of the Garter, replacing Camilla. What does this mean for the future of the monarchy? How will this change the dynamic within the royal family? What's your take on this shocking decision? If you think this is a game changer, leave a 1 in the comments. If you're unsure, drop a 0 and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more royal updates and drama. Let's dive into this royal shakeup and explore what it means for the House of Windsor. The Order of the Garter is a highly respected tradition in British royal history dating back to 1348, when King Edward III founded it. It stands for honor, loyalty, duty, and service to the nation, and has remained a prominent part of the British monarchy for over 670 years. Membership in the order is not easily obtained and is reserved for a select few individuals who have shown exceptional service to the nation or the monarchy. Each year, Garter Day is celebrated with a solemn and regal ceremony at Windsor Castle, reliving centuries of history. However, in June 2025, a momentous event occurred that touched the hearts of many. A simple transfer of power turned into a moment of momentous change. The Duke of Kent has been a member of the Order since 1985. He has been a loyal companion of the Garter for 40 years. Even at the age of 89, he remains dedicated and ever-present. Although his contributions may be quiet and many may not notice his quiet efforts, the Duke of Kent is a key figure in royal life, always supporting the crown from behind the scenes. For many years, he has epitomized the Garter values, duty, dignity, and belief in tradition. However, as he got older, he made a major decision that would impact the royal family. He chose to step back and focus on the future rather than dwell on the past. He chose Catherine, Princess of Wales. The decision came as a surprise to many, but to those who paid attention, it made sense. Catherine was admired for her gentle strength, deep compassion, and modern grace. She became very popular across the country, evolving into something more than just a royal figure. Catherine represented quiet leadership by blending royal traditions with the modern world. On June 16, 2025, Windsor Castle looked beautiful in the summer sunshine. The sky was clear, and there was a sense of excitement in the air. The annual Garter Day ceremony was about to begin, and many people had gathered in the castle grounds to watch. Some wore big hats, others held umbrellas to block the sun. They stood along the path looking for familiar royal faces and enjoying the music of the marching band. The royal family was dressed in their formal attire. King Charles led the way in a blue velvet robe, a plumed hat, and a shiny coat of arms. When Catherine appeared, she left a deep impression without being ostentatious. She was naturally beautiful and exuded elegant charm. Her white peplum dress by self-portrait was simple yet sophisticated. Her round, saucer-shaped hat by Shaw Barrett added a classic, sophisticated touch. Her pearl jewelry was soft and timeless, blending the whole look. Her chestnut hair was in soft waves, and her makeup was light, with smoky eyes, rosy cheeks, and pale pink lipstick, all of which combined to create an effortless elegance. She walked gracefully alongside the Duchess of Edinburgh and Sir Timothy Lawrence, exuding grace in every gesture. Despite the significance of the event, Catherine appeared relaxed and unperturbed. But few in the crowd knew that the day was more than just a ceremony or a photo op in the chapel. A quiet decision was about to become a pivotal moment. St. George's Chapel was splendid as the royal family and the Knights of the Garter entered. The chapel was illuminated by a golden glow through stained glass windows, adding to the sense of the weight of history. Inside it was quiet, with the ceremony expected to follow tradition, with prayers, readings, and possibly the induction of new members. However, an unexpected development occurred. The Duke of Kent, who is usually healthy and reliable, did not walk into the chapel this time, but arrived by car. His old age was evident, but his enthusiasm and energy had not faded. As he entered, many in the chapel straightened up a little, realizing they were in the presence of someone who had spent most of his life serving others. If you were chosen to be the successor to lead the royal tradition, who would you choose, Catherine? Comment number 2, Camilla. Comment number 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us in continuing to bring exciting royal news. Au revoir. The passing of responsibilities in the ancient chapel was not only a continuation of tradition, but also a commitment to the future. The Duke of Kent had spent his life in service, and now he was entrusting that responsibility to someone he believed could continue it with love, strength, and grace. Catherine, in her pure white gown and eyes alight with faith, entered into that promise with a calm, unpretentious demeanor. Her actions spoke volumes, a willingness, a spirit of service, and a loyalty to both family and country. It was not just any day, but a historic day marking the beginning of a new chapter. And by her side, Prince William, her partner and companion, was always there. Their relationship was a model of commitment and empathy in modern royalty. From their early days of dating to becoming parents of 3 children, their love had never wavered. As Catherine took on her new and important role, William's gaze said it all: pride, support, and a promise to always be there no matter what. Over time, Kate began to make her return to the public eye gently at her own pace. She maintained her natural happiness and warm, kind eyes. People were not only happy to see her back, but also admired her resilience and optimistic spirit. William has always been by her side, offering his full support and love, not just as a prince, but also as a devoted husband, ready to stand by Kate through every challenge in life. Prince Edward, Queen Elizabeth's youngest son, is an important but little-known figure in the royal family. There are few people the Queen can fully trust, and together with Prince Philip, Edward has lived a life steeped in tradition, duty, and dignity. Although he has stood behind his siblings, his life has been marked by quiet achievements and devotion to the royal family. Throughout his career, Prince Edward has received many important awards and positions, affirming his special position in the British royal family. He is currently a member of the Order of the Garter, one of the oldest and most prestigious orders in the UK. He is also a member of the Order of the Thistle, a symbol of deep connection with Scotland. In addition, Edward holds the title of Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order and is appointed personal aide to the monarch. Prince Edward's journey as a royal has been quiet and dignified without drama. He has shown loyalty and respect in serving family and country, always remaining humble and not seeking the spotlight. With each new title and careful decision, he has carved out a unique role for himself within the royal family. The titles, badges, and prestigious appointments he has received all illustrate a prince who remains steadfast and kind despite the upheavals of royal life. Is this the reason behind the Duke's commitment to what matters, or is there something more going on behind the palace walls? Let's take a closer look. A smooth transition. The Duke of Kent, born in 1935 and known as Prince Edward, has lived royal life with a sense of purpose, humility, and grace. He is a close relative of Queen Elizabeth II and has been a key figure in the monarchy for many years. He has earned a reputation for his dedication and fierce loyalty to the royal family, often working quietly behind the scenes with a deep commitment. He attended thousands of public events on behalf of the royal family, including ceremonies, state visits, and gatherings in the UK and abroad. His commitment to important causes such as the Royal National Lifeboat Institution and his active involvement in the Order of the Garter gave his royal service a deep sense of meaning and dedication. The Order of the Garter, a prestigious honor in the British monarchy, was of particular importance to him, as it represented his ties to tradition and his firm belief in the value of history and service. Since marrying Prince William in 2011, Catherine has earned the respect of both the public and the royal family. Her efforts to raise awareness of mental health, childhood development, and cancer have made a significant impact. But I have an amazing medical team who have looked after me so well, which I am incredibly grateful for. She is able to effectively handle her public duties while remaining true to herself. However, it is not just her charity work that is admired by everyone, but also her genuine and caring personality. Whether she is attending formal events or interacting with ordinary people, Catherine's warmth and kindness are always evident. The Duke of Kent saw in Catherine valuable qualities such as charm, intelligence, and the potential to carry on royal traditions in the future. His choice of her as leader of the Order of the Garter was not only emotional, but also strategically important. It was part of a larger movement initiated by King Charles III to create a streamlined royal family that was rooted in tradition but open to modern change. The king fully supported the Duke's decision and had deep confidence in the leadership and value Catherine would bring to the monarchy. The occasion was not only a formal affair at St. George's Chapel, but also one of deep emotion. It symbolized the passing of titles and reflected the strong bonds of trust and closeness within the royal family. Although the Duke of Kent is often portrayed as a rather aloof man, his speech at the ceremony revealed his sincere admiration and deep feelings for Catherine. In speaking of her, he not only trusted her leadership skills, but also her compassionate nature and devotion. His eyes reflected the gentleness that had come from years of royal service and the confidence that his precious legacy would be firmly preserved through Catherine. Catherine was emotional at the time. Those close to the royal family said she felt honored and aware of the responsibility. She had always admired the Duke for his strength and dedication. It meant a lot to her to be recognized in public by him. The title was not just ceremonial, it was a sign of faith in her and encouragement to move forward. King Charles and Queen Camilla also appeared moved. The king, who has been close to the Duke for a long time, was seen wiping away tears as the chapel erupted in applause. Prince William, who usually maintains a composed demeanor in public, watched with pride as his wife took on her new role. The peaceful carriage ride that followed allowed for some reflection. As the royal family departed, it was not a noisy or lavish affair. Instead, it was quiet, thoughtful, and filled with meaning. The day was important to Catherine. Over the years, she had transformed herself from a young royal bride into a mature and respected figure. Her hard work had helped build her reputation as a caring leader. The Garter Day ceremony symbolized a new beginning for her. It was a clear sign that she was prepared to take on more of a leadership role, not only in her projects, but also in the traditions of the monarchy. Those who have followed Catherine's progress have noticed subtle changes from before. Her way of carrying herself, her confidence, and her calm yet powerful presence are signs of someone who has developed her abilities with innate strength. The way she treats others from children to VIPs seems genuine and approachable. She listens attentively, responds with compassion, and forms meaningful connections with people. The Duke thought carefully about his decision and discussed it with the king and other senior members of the royal family to ensure a smooth transition. Those close to the palace believed that Catherine was his first choice from the start. He had strong faith in her abilities and wanted to ensure that the Order of the Garter was passed on to worthy people respecting its past and future. The Duke quietly guided the younger generation of royals by sharing his experiences with Catherine and William over tea through small gestures and kind words. His advice was invaluable because he had lived through many of the most important moments in royal history. He recognized Catherine not only as a future queen, but also as someone who would represent the monarchy well. The ceremony was not just about a woman or a title, but about a family that has overcome many obstacles and continued to support each other. From dealing with health issues to facing public scrutiny and mourning the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the royal family has had its share of difficult times. But events like this, marked by unity and mutual respect, show the public that beyond official duties, there is a family that relies on each other for support. The presence of senior members of the royal family, including King Charles, Princess Anne, and the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester at the event, is not only a tradition, but also a demonstration of unity. Their attendance demonstrates loyalty not only to the monarchy, but to each other. Catherine's new position as head of the order symbolizes this unity. It is a moment where past and present meet and trust is passed down through the generations. Catherine had a close relationship with the Duke of Kent, although their relationship was not often in the public eye. They respected and cared for each other. He gave her wise advice, and she admired him, which brought them closer together. She often looked to him for guidance to understand things better. His calm and experienced outlook on life helped her feel secure, especially at important public events. The Duke not only gave her a title, but also gave her his approval by granting her this prestigious honor. By accepting it, Catherine demonstrated that she was not only willing, but also prepared. She not only became the Princess of Wales, but also embraced her role as a guardian of tradition and a symbol of hope for the future of the British monarchy. A journey of strength and grace. Princess Kate, the Princess of Wales, has announced that she is undergoing treatment for cancer. This is a very personal message from the princess, who has always exuded confidence, grace, and love for family and country. As she entered royal life, the eyes of the world followed her. However, no one could have guessed that she was secretly facing a personal battle. Despite her calm exterior, the revelation of her cancer diagnosis shocked many. It was unbelievable that someone as elegant and vibrant as she was could face such a painful ordeal. Despite this difficult time, Princess Kate has shown courage that has earned her admiration. At the center of it all is Catherine, who enters a new chapter of royal duties with the calm but steady guidance of the Duke, who has always been a dedicated guide. The Duke is known for his peaceful demeanor and thoughtful manner, making him a powerful yet humble figure within the royal family. While he prefers to stay out of the public eye, his influence is profound on those he trusts and nurtures. One of these was Catherine, Princess of Wales, who received subtle guidance and encouragement from the Duke. Their interactions were understated, but profound, marked by the wisdom, compassion, and understanding that came from years of royal service. The bond, forged through intimate conversations and wise counsel, was evident in every meaningful exchange of gestures and glances. Through it all, we see Catherine gradually transform from a newcomer to royal duties into a confident figure, taking on an important leadership position with the Duke's unwavering support and assistance. Catherine received unwavering support from the entire royal family on this momentous day. King Charles III, despite his personal challenges and the enormous responsibility of ascending the throne, still showed deep concern and trust in Catherine through his meaningful nod of approval. Beside her, Prince William walked steadily with pride in his eyes and unwavering support, giving Catherine the strength and courage to continue taking on her new role. The ceremony not only marked an important milestone in Catherine's royal career, but also a testament to their shared journey as a resilient couple, overcoming many challenges and building a loving and lasting family life. However, Catherine is not content with simply maintaining long-established customs. She wants to renew and revive them in a way that is more relevant to today's younger generation. She is currently working on a plan to modernize the Order of the Garter, making it more relevant and accessible to modern society. One of the proposals being considered is to expand exhibitions and educational initiatives so that the public, especially children and young people, can better understand the history and significance of the order. In addition, Catherine is working with historians and experts to create a global digital archive that will make it easier for people around the world to learn about the values and legacy of the Order of the Garter. She also proposes partnerships with schools and nonprofits to spread the core values of the Order of the Garter, such as service, courage, and loyalty, into education and the community. Catherine believes that honoring the past is not only a matter of looking back, but also of inspiring a better future. In the royal corridors of power, where tradition often rules supreme, the Duke of Kent's decision sent a quiet but powerful shockwave. As the highest-ranking woman in the kingdom, Queen Camilla would have been the natural successor to lead such a noble order. The choice of Catherine, instead, was not a snub to the Queen, but a deliberate statement. It was a sign that the monarchy under King Charles was willing to prioritize the long-term future and stability over strict adherence to ceremonial succession rules. The Duke of Kent, who has served the royal family through decades of change, possesses a deep wisdom. His decision was not a whim, but the result of years of observation. He has seen Catherine mature from a young royal bride into a confident politician who can connect with the public in an authentic way without losing her dignity. He recognizes that for the Order of the Garter to continue to be meaningful in the 21st century, it needs a leader who both respects the past and embodies the future. In his eyes, Catherine is the perfect bridge. While the public may have murmured that Queen Camilla was being overlooked, the reality inside the palace was quite different. Queen Camilla, who had shown incredible resilience and loyalty, understood her role as a supporter of the king and the crown. She recognized that giving Catherine this role would strengthen the Princess of Wales's position and strategically allocate important responsibilities within a slimmed-down monarchy. Her quiet acceptance was a testament to her dedication to institutional health, placing the common good above personal honors. This decision could not have been made without the full approval of King Charles III. His support for the Duke's choice demonstrates a unified strategic vision at the highest levels of the royal family. The king understands that the future strength of the monarchy lies in the family of the Prince of Wales. By elevating Catherine to such a position of visibility and prestige, he is proactively strengthening the foundations for the reign of his son Prince William, ensuring a seamless and popular transition of power for decades to come. For Catherine, taking on this role is more than an honor. It is a burden of legacy. She is acutely aware that she is stepping into a position held by great historical figures. Her responsibility now is not just to wear the velvet cape and badge. It is to uphold the core values of the order: loyalty, courage, and service, and pass them on to the next generation. The pressure is immense, but her calm and quiet determination show that she is up to the challenge. That year's Garter Day ceremony will be remembered not just for its splendor, but for the quiet revolution it represented. The handing of the reins of power to Catherine rather than Camilla was a subtle but tectonic shift in the royal power structure. It signaled that merit, public support, and strategic relevance could now carry as much weight as traditional rank and lineage. This was a monarchy adapting to survive, realizing that relevance was as important as ceremony. With the passing of the baton, the Duke of Kent and Catherine's relationship entered a new phase. He was no longer a figurehead, but an advisor, a living repository of wisdom that Catherine could draw upon. Their private conversations, already precious, would be deepened as he passed on the nuances of leading such an ancient institution. His guidance would be invaluable as Catherine sought to make her own mark without diluting centuries of legacy. The decision was a masterstroke of public relations. It positioned Catherine, one of the most beloved members of the royal family, at the heart of one of the nation's oldest traditions. It instantly made the Order of the Garter more relevant and appealing to a modern public. It sent a clear message: the monarchy is not a relic of the past, but a living, evolving institution led by people the public admires and trusts. The appointment is also a lesson in the division of soft power. Rather than concentrating all the most important ceremonial roles on the king and queen, the decision has spread influence. Queen Camilla continues to shine in her role supporting the king and her own charitable activities, while Catherine now has a separate prestigious platform to work from. This division allows both powerful women to maximize their influence in separate areas, strengthening the entire royal structure. The world is watching to see what Catherine will bring to the role. Will she use her platform to highlight everyday heroes who embody the values of service and courage in their communities? Will she launch educational programs to connect young people with the Order's rich history? Whatever she chooses, there is no doubt that her combination of compassion, intelligence, and modern thinking will breathe new life into the Order of the Garter, ensuring its survival and growth for generations to come. A new chapter has been opened in the history of the British royal family, and this decision is sure to make people think. Catherine is now not only an important member of the royal family, but also taking on a significant responsibility. What changes will this shift bring to the future of the monarchy? Let's continue to follow the developments and see how this decision impacts the royal family. Thank you for watching the video. If you found it interesting, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more captivating videos about the royal family and other dramatic stories. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Queen Camilla enraged. After Kate caught wearing Diana's most treasured jewelry, the royal drama just got even more intense. Queen Camilla is absolutely furious after Kate was spotted wearing one of Princess Diana's most cherished pieces of jewelry. What does this mean for the royal family? Is this just an innocent gesture or a bold statement? What do you think this move means for the royal dynamics? If you think Kate's decision is a game changer, leave a 1 in the comments. If you're not sure, leave a 0 and let's discuss. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest royal drama. Let's dive into this story now. Last night at the grandest royal party of the year, a special moment captured everyone's attention when Duchess Kate stepped out wearing the tiara most beloved by Princess Diana. While everyone had expected a quiet evening, that moment completely shifted the atmosphere. Kate in the sparkling tiara silenced the entire room, and instantly all eyes were on her. Was it just a piece of jewelry or a powerful message filled with love and royal memories? This left many people pondering. The tiara was not just a beautiful accessory, it also evoked memories of a deeply meaningful past. When Duchess Kate entered Diana's tiara, not only made her look stunning, but also sparked powerful memories of the late princess. Kate's appearance in this tiara was not merely a fashion choice. It served as a reminder of Princess Diana's lasting influence and her indelible presence in royal history. As soon as Queen Camilla entered the room, she looked flawless in her own tiara. However, her gaze quickly landed on the tiara atop Kate's head. A brief moment of hesitation appeared in her steps, her smile fading, and it was only after that everyone could sense a shift in the atmosphere. Camilla tried to hide her emotions, but those nearby noticed that she was deeply moved. For the first time, the tiara wasn't just jewelry. It evoked memories of a past and a legacy of a woman she could never replace. This tiara is not only beautiful, but also carries with it a deeply emotional history. For those who understand royal traditions, they know that every piece of jewelry holds profound significance. This tiara, once belonging to Diana, is now more than just an ornamental item. It is a symbol of love, memory, and greatness. When Kate wore that tiara, everything suddenly became quiet, solemn, as if it conveyed a message that Camilla could not deny. For Camilla, that tiara was not just a simple piece of jewelry. It symbolized a relationship, a legacy that she could never have. When she noticed Diana's tiara on Kate's head, emotions surged within her. It was more than just a choice of adornment. That tiara was a clear sign of Kate's position within the royal family, and that reality made Camilla uncomfortable. Although she always maintained grace and elegance, it was undeniable that the tiara had stirred an inevitable confrontation within her. In the end, the tiara shone not only with its stunning diamonds, but also carried an unspoken message. It was a reflection of the past, of memories of Diana that no one could replace. For Camilla, this tiara was a profound message she could not respond to, as that legacy and love will always belong to Diana. When Kate wore the tiara, everything felt more intimate and personal than ever before. It was not just a piece of jewelry, it was a reminder of what has passed and of the things that will never change. The knot tiara is not just a sparkling piece of jewelry, but it also carries a deep and painful meaning. When Duchess Catherine wore this tiara, it was not just a symbol of royal beauty, but also a reminder of the unforgettable memories of Princess Diana. This tiara had once been Diana's favorite piece, worn during some of her most memorable moments, and as Catherine donned it, the atmosphere around them seemed to grow heavier. It didn't just shine with sparkling diamonds, but also revived a past that many thought had been forgotten. For Queen Camilla, that tiara is a reminder of a role she was never allowed to step into, though she has become queen consort. It's undeniable that the past between Diana and Charles still haunts her. When she saw Catherine wearing Diana's tiara, Camilla couldn't help but feel a deep discomfort. The tiara was not just jewelry, but a symbol of the greatness and love that Diana had once received. For Camilla, it was a painful message reminding her that no matter how much time passes, the public's affection will always remain with Diana. The knot tiara is not just a beautiful piece of royal jewelry, but it also carries the weight of a legacy. Many in the palace believe this tiara was Diana's invisible shield, making her strong even in her most difficult moments. When Catherine wore this tiara, it wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a reimagining of a story that has become embedded in the hearts of the public. For Camilla, seeing Catherine wear Diana's tiara might have felt like an unavoidable reminder that she would never inherit that legacy. When Catherine wore the tiara, it wasn't just the admiring gazes at her beauty, but also a profound sense of the connection the tiara symbolized. It evoked memories of Diana and what she had brought to the royal family. While Camilla may have the right to wear royal jewelry, the emotional bond Catherine shares with the public cannot be replicated. It's not just an accessory. That tiara is a story the public still cherishes, a story tied to the grace and affection that Diana created. So how did this tiara end up in the hands of Duchess Catherine? When Queen Elizabeth passed away, the palace announced that her private jewelry collection would be divided according to a strict royal procedure. Camilla, as queen consort, was given the first choice, but the knot tiara was not one she had the right to possess. It wasn't a personal favor, but a royal protocol. In this process, the selection of jewelry was determined by rank and status, and this special tiara was granted to Catherine. When Duchess Catherine stepped in and wore Diana's knot tiara, no one could have predicted that this tiara would not belong to Camilla, who was expected to be the one granted the royal jewelry. Regarded as a symbol of power and love, this tiara was not just an accessory, but a reimagining of a past tied to Diana. However, when the tiara was passed to Catherine, many in the palace were surprised. The unspoken connection between Queen Elizabeth and Catherine made this transfer even more significant. Perhaps the Queen wished to honor her daughter-in-law, but others believe this decision had been made long before Camilla began selecting her own royal jewelry. As soon as images of Catherine wearing Diana's beloved tiara were shared, the public immediately expressed their admiration. Many compared her to Diana, and some even believed she was a reflection of the late princess. The praise and comparisons were not only about her appearance, but also the spiritual connection Catherine conveyed. For Camilla, this was far from easy. After years of striving to be accepted by the public, seeing people honor another woman wearing the jewelry so closely tied to Diana was a great challenge. Though Camilla tried to project confidence, it was undeniable that a wave of hurt rose within her. Although Camilla stands at the highest rank in the royal family, Catherine's appearance in the tiara shifted the balance of power. Catherine wasn't just wearing a piece of jewelry, she earned the admiration and love of the public. People didn't just see a princess, but they felt the connection between Catherine and Diana. Meanwhile, Camilla, despite holding an official title, seemed to fade into the background. The tiara was not just an item, it symbolized a shift in influence within the royal family. Catherine had captured the public's heart while Camilla faced the challenge of maintaining her position. Camilla, unwilling to stay silent, reacted to this shift at the next royal event. She stepped out wearing a different tiara. The Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a precious piece once beloved by Queen Elizabeth. This was Camilla's way of proving that she could still represent the stability and tradition of the royal heritage. However, even though she maintained her graceful demeanor and pride with this tiara, the public's attention remained elsewhere. Everyone's gaze was still on Catherine, who had captured the moment with Diana's tiara. Although the tiara Camilla wore still sparkled under the lights, the public's attention was not on it. People no longer discussed the value or beauty of the diamonds in Camilla's tiara. Instead, they remained fixated on the image of Catherine wearing Diana's tiara. This highlights that despite Camilla wearing valuable royal jewelry, the emotions and significance behind them could not compare to the tiara of Diana, a piece of jewelry that is intertwined with a story the public continues to cherish. The difference between Camilla and Catherine is not just about the jewelry, but also how each woman carries the royal legacy. Catherine didn't just wear the tiara, she embraced it and became an inseparable part of Diana's story. For Camilla, things seem more challenging because despite her power and title, Catherine has effortlessly earned the public's affection. This isn't just about the tiara, it's about the bond Catherine has forged with the people. When Duchess Catherine stepped in wearing Diana's beloved tiara, the world immediately responded with admiration and strong emotion. The public didn't just see Catherine wearing a sparkling royal accessory, but also felt a deep connection between her and Diana. This created a stark contrast with Camilla, who may also wear beautiful tiaras, but fails to evoke the same emotional connection as Catherine. Although Camilla holds a high position and official title, the moment Catherine wore that tiara showed that love and public admiration cannot always be measured by rank. For Camilla, seeing Catherine wear Diana's tiara may have brought deep pain. Despite her efforts to appear confident and assert her position, the public's attention was not on her. People continued to compare her to a woman who was no longer here, and this is perhaps what hurt Camilla the most. While she has earned the title of Queen Consort and possesses other magnificent tiaras, the emotional connection the public has with Catherine remains much stronger. In the royal family, it's not just beauty that matters, but strict rules about who can wear a tiara. Each tiara is not just jewelry. It carries the weight of tradition and power. When Catherine wore Diana's tiara, it was not just an acceptance of a royal accessory, but a statement of her role in the royal family. Royal protocols dictate that once a tiara is bestowed upon a royal woman, it belongs to her forever. This means that when Catherine received Diana's tiara, Camilla could never have it, not even once. This transfer was not just about power, but about emotion and the connection with the public. What do you think about this royal rule? Does Catherine wearing Diana's crown carry a deeper message about power and her connection with the public? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think it's a worthy gesture or a sign of shifting power within the royal family? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. When Catherine wore Diana's tiara, it wasn't just the sparkling diamonds, but the memories of a woman the public has never forgotten. Each time Catherine appeared with this tiara, she not only displayed elegance and beauty, but also inherited Diana's legacy. People didn't just see a beautiful tiara, they felt the spirit and heart of Diana through Catherine. That's why every time Catherine wears this tiara, the public senses Diana's strong presence as a continuation of the legacy she left behind. This shift is not just about the tiara or the jewelry, but about the recognition and affection the public has for these two women. While Camilla holds power and a title, it is undeniable that Catherine with Diana's tiara has won the hearts of the people. This highlights a change in influence and the significance of royal symbols. Camilla may have advanced far within the royal family, but Catherine has proven that status doesn't always compare to the love and admiration the public feels for an individual. Duchess Catherine, without saying a word, captured the hearts of the public when she wore Diana's tiara. It wasn't just a sparkling piece of jewelry. It evoked powerful emotions tied to an unforgettable past, and now it seems to belong to Catherine. The admiration the public has for her is not something she strives to earn. It is the result of her composure ability to maintain grace under pressure and her charitable work. Catherine not only inherits Diana's legacy, but also continues to build a deep connection with the public, a bond that Camilla has struggled to achieve. Although Camilla fought hard to secure her position beside King Charles, the public has not embraced her with the same warmth as they have Catherine. This became even more evident when Catherine wore Diana's tiara. While Camilla may wear a tiara just as magnificent, it doesn't evoke the same powerful emotions as when Catherine wears that one. This difference must have been painful, as despite Camilla's power and title, she still cannot earn the love and admiration that Catherine has. It's not just about the tiara, it's about how the world perceives these two women. The tiara is not just royal jewelry, but carries deep emotional power. Each tiara in the royal family has its own set of rules, with only those of high status allowed to wear them. Once a tiara is bestowed upon a royal woman, it stays with her for life. For Catherine, Diana's tiara is not only a beautiful piece of jewelry, but a symbol of love, sacrifice, and spiritual connection. In contrast, for Camilla, while she may wear other valuable tiaras, the affection the public has for Catherine cannot be replicated. The lover's knot tiara is not just a piece of jewelry, but a symbol of a broken love and an unforgettable legacy. First created in 1914, the tiara was selected by Queen Mary and later given to Princess Diana by Queen Elizabeth II as a wedding gift. Diana wore this tiara at important events and during some of the most challenging moments of her life. Though the tiara sparkled, it was also heavy and difficult to wear, much like the challenging life Diana faced within the royal family. Yet she wore it with grace, and over time, this tiara became a symbol of her quiet strength. After Diana's passing, the tiara disappeared from the public eye as if it too carried the sorrow of her loss. However, in 2015, something unexpected happened when Duchess Catherine wore Diana's tiara. That moment shocked royal watchers, as if Diana returned not physically but spiritually. Catherine wasn't just wearing a royal tiara, she revived the deep emotions and memories of Diana. For the public, this tiara wasn't just about style or the sparkle of diamonds. It was about the rebirth of Diana's spirit and legacy, making it all the more special and meaningful. Although Camilla holds the title of Queen Consort and power within the royal family, public acceptance is something she has yet to achieve to the extent Catherine has. She may have the tiara's estates and all the royal ceremonies, but the affection and admiration the public has for Catherine cannot be compared. Each time Catherine appears wearing Diana's tiara, the public doesn't just see her as a duchess, but as someone continuing Diana's legacy. This cannot be bought with rank or title. It is only the result of a genuine emotional connection, something Camilla will never have. When Duchess Catherine wore Diana's lover's knot tiara, it wasn't just the appearance of a sparkling royal accessory, but a deeply emotional moment. This tiara belonged not only to Diana, but also symbolized love and sacrifice. For the public, the tiara was not just an ornament, but a spiritual connection to the past. When Catherine wore it, people felt that she was not only carrying Diana's story, but also continuing her legacy. This tiara, though not the most expensive piece of jewelry, holds the deepest spiritual value, a part of royal history that only Catherine could continue. Although Camilla is Queen Consort and has the right to choose from the priceless heirlooms of Queen Elizabeth, the lover's knot tiara did not fall into her hands. This caused surprise within the palace, as many thought that Camilla, with her position, would be the first to receive such an item. However, the tiara was given to Duchess Catherine. This decision may have stemmed from Queen Elizabeth's emotional connection to Catherine, or from the quiet support of King Charles, who likely wanted the memory of his late wife to be preserved through his son's current wife. This was not just about power or titles, but about a deep emotional connection. Royal treasures are not just about the value of the items, but also about the stories and meanings behind them. Duchess Catherine has received many precious items from Queen Elizabeth's collection, such as brooches, necklaces, and accessories linked to Princess Margaret. However, the biggest difference is that emotionally valuable items like Diana's tiara were not passed to Camilla. This not only caused Camilla to be less in the spotlight, but also added a sense of disappointment. Despite enduring many challenges to earn her position as queen consort, when the moment to shine came, it was Catherine who stepped into the light, having captured the hearts of the public. Catherine didn't just wear Diana's tiara, she became the one to carry on Diana's legacy within the royal family. People didn't just see a tiara, they felt Diana's spirit and kindness through Catherine. The admiration for Catherine comes not just from her outer beauty, but from her grace and ability to remain composed under pressure. When Catherine wore that tiara, the public didn't just see a duchess. They saw Diana revived in a new generation, continuing to shine and bring sincere affection to everyone. Although Camilla holds official power and a grand tiara, the public's attention still doesn't focus on her in the same way it does on Catherine. Each time Catherine wears Diana's tiara, people don't just see a duchess. They feel a deep connection to an invaluable legacy. Camilla may wear precious royal tiaras, but it's undeniable that the public's affection for Catherine cannot be measured by power or title. That's why every time Catherine appears with this tiara, it tells an emotional story that no one can deny. The lover's knot tiara, though just a piece of jewelry, carries with it a story full of emotion and history. Created in 1914 and originally intended for Queen Mary, it was passed down to Queen Elizabeth II and later gifted to Princess Diana. This tiara was not only a wedding gift but became a symbol of Diana's strength and resilience during her difficult years within the royal family. And when Catherine wears this tiara, the public doesn't just see a beautiful duchess. They feel a powerful continuation of Diana's legacy, an irreplaceable presence in the hearts of the people. When Duchess Catherine wore Diana's lover's knot tiara, it wasn't just the appearance of a piece of jewelry, but an emotional moment. The natural way she wore the tiara, her composure and posture immediately reminded everyone of Princess Diana. Unlike someone trying to copy Diana's legacy, Catherine is truly continuing it, something that Camilla cannot do. While Camilla may wear dazzling jewelry, the lover's knot tiara, with all its emotion, will always be something she cannot reach. When Catherine wore this tiara, the public's reaction couldn't have been clearer. People began comparing Catherine to Diana, calling her the princess of the modern people, and even dubbing her Queen 2.0. This sentiment could deeply hurt Camilla, as despite her power and title as queen consort, Catherine's light seems to shine brighter. Camilla may wear other tiaras and attend grand events, but when Catherine wears Diana's tiara, all attention is on her. For many, this contrast is no coincidence. It's a silent rivalry between two royal women, and it's clear that Catherine has captured the world's attention. This piece of jewelry is not just a magnificent royal artifact, but also a powerful spiritual symbol. Diana's lover's knot tiara carries with it a deeply emotional and meaningful story. When Catherine wore this tiara, the public didn't just see a beautiful accessory. They felt Diana's spirit continuing to live through her. This isn't just about material value or the sparkle of diamonds. It's about the spiritual connection Catherine has built with the public. People didn't just see a duchess, but someone who is carrying on Diana's legacy. Although Camilla may hold power and a title, the sense of public recognition that Catherine enjoys seems to always be out of her reach. This event is not just about the tiara. It's a reflection of how the world perceives her. Catherine doesn't need to fight for the love and admiration of the public. She naturally earns it through her grace and virtue. While Camilla has struggled for years to gain acceptance, Catherine has obtained it all in just one moment. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, her jewelry collection was carefully divided following strict rules. Camilla, as queen consort, had the right to choose from the valuable items first. However, the lover's knot tiara did not go to her but was instead given to Catherine. This not only surprised many, but also raised the question of whether this was a decision made by Queen Elizabeth before her passing or if it was a choice quietly supported by King Charles. Those within the palace believe that Queen Elizabeth made this decision based on her strong affection for Catherine and her belief that Catherine was truly the one to continue Diana's legacy. Although Camilla spent many years proving herself and ultimately achieved the position of queen consort the moment Catherine wore the lover's knot tiara, the public turned away from Camilla. Despite Camilla holding power and a title, she could not capture the admiration of the public in the same way Catherine did. This event was not only a standout moment for Catherine, but also a significant shift in how the public perceives the two women within the royal family. For many, Catherine is now the new symbol of the monarchy, while Camilla seems to remain on the outside, unable to ever truly possess that affection. The moment Catherine wore Diana's tiara was not just a formal act, but a revival of Diana in a new generation. It wasn't just about the tiara or its material value, but about the emotions it evoked. Royal watchers didn't just see Catherine wearing a royal piece of jewelry, they felt Diana's presence through her. That emotion, that connection, is something Camilla can never achieve, no matter how many precious tiaras she wears. What do you think about this surprising moment? Do you believe Kate's decision to wear Princess Diana's most cherished heirloom was a sign of respect or a subtle message to Camilla? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more royal drama. We'll see you in the next video with more juicy details. You've probably heard of the tragic story of Princess Diana, but have you ever wondered what really happened that night? Was it just an accident, or is there something deeper we haven't been told? In today's video, we'll uncover the mysteries behind Princess Diana's death, the details that haven't been revealed, the theories that have never been discussed. Everything will be brought to light. If you believe there's something suspicious behind this accident, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, comment 0. Let's uncover the truth together, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1, 1961 in Sandringham, Norfolk, into an old aristocratic family in England. She was the fourth of 5 children born to Earl Althorp and Countess Spencer. The Spencer family had a close relationship with the British royal family, which opened the door for Diana to be exposed to the aristocracy from a young age, including Prince Charles. In the summer of 1980, during a hunting party hosted by the Spencer family, Diana, who was just 19 years old at the time, met Charles. With her gentle beauty, refined manners, and kind heart, she quickly won the affection of the royal family. Shortly after, they decided to hold the wedding of the century on July 29, 1981. The fairy tale ceremony was broadcast live to 750 million global viewers. Diana appeared resplendent in a wedding gown over 7 meters long, crafted entirely from 40 meters of British silk, adorned with meticulously hand-embroidered lace. Her engagement ring, an 18-carat sapphire surrounded by 14 diamonds valued at $63,000, became a symbol of royal love. The world seemed to be witnessing a princess stepping out of a fairy tale. Beyond being a stunning bride, Diana also captured the public's hearts through her tireless humanitarian efforts. She actively participated in campaigns to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS, a disease heavily stigmatized at the time. She also traveled to conflict zones like Angola, where she personally walked through minefields left over from the war to advocate for action. The image of Princess Diana in protective gear walking amidst a minefield became a global symbol of courage and compassion. The public's love for her was genuine and profound, but behind that dazzling spotlight lay a reality of loneliness and heartbreak. Just 1 year after the wedding, conflicts between Charles and Diana began to emerge. Many believed it was because they married too quickly without enough time to understand and reconcile their personalities. However, the true reason ran deeper: the presence of another woman, Camilla Parker Bowles. The media and public alike believed that Camilla was the woman Prince Charles truly loved. Their relationship began in 1972, at a party where Camilla once joked, "My great-grandmother and your great-grandfather were lovers." What seemed like a casual remark became the catalyst that brought the two closer. The pain of rejection and an unhealed emotional wound kept Charles from breaking free of Camilla even after he married Diana. This gradually extinguished the young princess's hopes for a happy married life. Also feeling they had so much in common, Camilla and Charles quickly moved into a passionate relationship. That same year, Charles confessed his feelings, but Camilla declined, fearing the restrictive life within the royal family. In early 1973, she married Major Andrew Parker Bowles, a close friend of Charles. Despite his heartbreak, Charles was forced to accept an arranged marriage with Diana under pressure from the royal family. The unfulfilled romance with Camilla left a wound in the prince's heart that was not easily healed. Even after marrying Diana, Prince Charles couldn't forget Camilla Parker Bowles, the woman who had been his deep love before marriage. When Prince William, their first son, was born, the cracks in their marriage became apparent. Charles was torn between his royal duties and his lingering feelings for Camilla, causing deep pain not only to Diana, but also to Camilla's husband. This persistent love triangle had severe consequences for both families, becoming a hard-to-heal wound in the history of the British royal family. As the Princess of Wales, Diana constantly struggled under the strictures of the royal family while enduring a cold and lonely marriage. The isolation, public pressure, and feeling of betrayal plunged her into a mental health crisis. Diana suffered from depression and an eating disorder, and her mental state grew increasingly unstable. In contrast, Charles remained indifferent and distant. In 1994, during a BBC interview, he publicly admitted that his relationship with Camilla continued even after marrying Diana, a confession that shocked and saddened the public. Charles further asserted that he was merely waiting for his marriage to collapse so he could return to the woman he truly loved implicitly, stating that his love for Diana had never existed. According to many accounts, the moment that completely shattered the marriage was the birth of Prince Harry. Charles had hoped for a daughter, so when he learned it was another son, he couldn't hide his disappointment. He even made unpleasant remarks about Harry's red hair, which he believed was inherited from the Spencer side, Diana's family. These seemingly casual words were the final straw, leaving Diana even more hurt and isolated in her own home. By December 1992, after years of tension and intense media scrutiny, then British Prime Minister John Major officially announced that Charles and Diana were separating. This news immediately became the focus of global media, leading to a barrage of interviews, articles, and images that exposed the dark side of a marriage once likened to a fairy tale. Charles wasn't the only one criticized for infidelity. Diana also faced intense media scrutiny. She was rumored to have had relationships with several men, most notably Barry Manickey, her former bodyguard, and James Hewitt, a former cavalry officer whom she admitted to loving. Public speculation also swirled around other men in Diana's life, further complicating her image in the public eye. The flame of their marriage was completely extinguished, with no hope left for salvation. In August 1996, Charles and Diana officially divorced, bringing an end to a tragic marriage, a failed love story that the entire world had followed and lamented. After her divorce, Princess Diana and her two sons were invited to vacation on the yacht of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed in the Mediterranean. There, she met Dodi Al Fayed Mohammed's son, an Egyptian film producer. The relationship between Diana and Dodi quickly blossomed. They found a connection in their personalities, emotions, and a shared desire for genuine love after much heartache. But at that time, privacy wasn't respected as it is today. As soon as news of their relationship leaked, media outlets everywhere immediately descended. Intimate photos of them flooded the tabloids. However, Diana didn't seem to care. After everything, she just wanted to be happy. However, the blossoming romance between Diana and Dodi Al Fayed, which had just begun under the Mediterranean sun, abruptly ended in an unforeseen tragedy. In the early hours of August 31, 1997, the Mercedes carrying them crashed into a concrete pillar in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris, while trying to escape relentless paparazzi. The horrific collision killed Diana Dodi and their driver, Henri Paul, while bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones was severely injured and the sole survivor. Chaotic images taken immediately after the accident spread worldwide, profoundly shocking billions of people. Is there something suspicious behind Princess Diana's death? Unrevealed theories, details that have captured the world's attention? Let's explore the mysteries behind this tragic accident. Just one day earlier, on August 30th, Diana and Dodi had arrived in Paris from Sardinia, Italy. They were staying at the Ritz Paris, owned by the Al Fayed family, with plans to visit Dodi's father, billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed, the next day. However, the presence of Princess Diana, a global icon, immediately attracted a swarm of paparazzi at Place Vendôme, where the hotel is located. To distract the media, the security team had prepared a decoy car, while Diana and Dodi were taken through the back exit and into an armored Mercedes S280, accompanied by driver Henri Paul and bodyguard Rees-Jones. Unfortunately, none of them wore seatbelts, a detail that would later be considered a key factor in making the accident so catastrophic. As soon as the car left the hotel, it was immediately spotted. Paparazzi on motorcycles relentlessly pursued them. In an attempt to shake them off, Henri Paul drove the car at speeds over 100 km/h, double the legal limit in the city. When they entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, the Mercedes reportedly collided with a white Fiat, before losing control and crashing into a concrete pillar in the middle of the tunnel. The accident happened in the blink of an eye. Henri Paul and Dodi died instantly. Trevor Rees-Jones suffered severe facial and head injuries, surviving, but losing all memory of that fateful moment. And what about Princess Diana? At first, she was still conscious, with no obvious injuries but in a state of severe shock. Medical personnel immediately pulled her from the car and began emergency treatment on the way to the hospital. However, Diana's heart had been displaced due to the impact tearing the left pulmonary vein and the pericardium. Despite efforts to revive her, she did not survive and passed away at 3 a.m., ending her short but turbulent life at the age of 36. News of Princess Diana's death spread at lightning speed. Major newspapers all ran the haunting headline, "Diana is dead." People flooded the streets in shock and deep sorrow. Outside Kensington Palace, millions of bouquets, handwritten letters, and candles were placed along the walkway in tribute. They mourned not only for the loss of a princess, but for a symbol of compassion, a devoted mother and a woman who courageously stepped out from the shadow of the royal family to live true to her heart. On September 6, 1997, Princess Diana's state funeral took place at Westminster Abbey. It became one of the most watched events in human television history. An estimated 3 million people flooded the streets of London to bid her farewell, while over 2.5 billion people worldwide watched live on television, nearly 1/3 of the global population at the time. The moment when Princes William and Harry, then just 15 and 12 years old, quietly walked behind their mother's coffin, became an unforgettable image. Whatever the truth may be, Princess Diana's death forever closed the story of an extraordinary woman. One who dared to love, dared to live, and dared to defy destiny. Diana was not just the Princess of Wales, but the princess of the people's hearts, a symbol of compassion, independence, and the desire for freedom. Even though many years have passed, the death of the people's princess still leaves behind pain, doubt, and regret. Perhaps what makes Diana immortal in the hearts of the public is not just that she left us too soon, but that she lived courageously, kindly, and with deep compassion in a world full of prejudice and pressure. According to the official investigation's conclusion driver, Henri Paul, who was behind the wheel of the Mercedes carrying Princess Diana on that fateful night, had a blood alcohol concentration 3.5 times above the legal limit and had also taken sedatives before getting into the car. French authorities believed that this caused him to lose control of the vehicle, leading to the horrific crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. However, this conclusion did little to calm public opinion. On the contrary, it sparked a global wave of outrage. Many believed that the police were too hasty or even deliberately pushed the case towards an accident to cover up a larger conspiracy. Whispers, doubts, and conspiracy theories began to emerge, not only from tabloid newspapers, but also from credible voices within independent analysis and investigation circles. At the time of the accident, Diana was no longer the official princess of the royal family. After her sensational divorce from Prince Charles, she was stripped of the title Her Royal Highness and many other royal privileges. However, she became more famous than ever, not only for her beauty and kindness, but also for her independence, her willingness to challenge royal traditions, and her openness about the injustices and pain she had endured. This very strength earned her widespread admiration, and also made quite a few people uncomfortable. In the eyes of a segment of the conservative upper echelons, Diana was a thorn to be removed, a rebellious symbol threatening the solemn image and long-standing power of the British royal family. The most chilling conspiracy theory to gain widespread traction is that the British royal family orchestrated Diana's death. This hypothesis gained significant weight when a haunting detail resurfaced in her famous 1995 interview with the BBC's Panorama program. Diana stated she had a premonition she would be killed, possibly in a car plane or helicopter crash accidents staged to look like unfortunate incidents. This was no longer just a premonition. It felt like a chilling, self-fulfilling prophecy uttered by her 2 years before her death. As news of the accident spread like wildfire, the entire world turned its attention to the British royal family awaiting a condolence message, an official statement. But the longer they waited, the more disappointed they became. Queen Elizabeth II, who was at Balmoral Castle at the time, maintained complete silence for several days after Diana's death. Buckingham Palace did not fly its flag at half-mast. No statements were issued. No press conferences were held. This silence not only stunned the British public, but also ignited an unprecedented wave of outrage. In the eyes of the public, the royal family wasn't just insensitive, they had something to hide. Accusations began to echo everywhere. Were they concealing the truth? Had the royal family itself orchestrated the elimination of Diana, the woman who had shaken the monarchy with her revelations of betrayal, deceit, and pretense? Under immense public pressure, the Queen finally broke her silence. Buckingham Palace, for the first time in history, flew its flag at half-mast to honor a former member of the royal family. A live, televised address followed in which the Queen praised Diana as an exceptional woman and shared her profound sorrow. But for many, those words came too late. They believed Diana's pain and death were not accidental, but rather the result of a silent, cold, yet sophisticated campaign to eliminate her. Though Diana's death was officially ruled an accident in the hearts of millions, the truth still holds shadows that have never been fully illuminated. To this day, the theories surrounding the crash persist like a historical scar, a reminder that even love, fame, and compassion couldn't protect one from the cold forces in the dark. Diana is gone, but her image, the woman who dared to love, dared to speak, dared to be different lives on in the hearts of the British people and the world. She wasn't just a symbol of beauty, but a symbol of truth, compassion, and an indomitable spirit, something no force could ever extinguish. Did the British royal family orchestrate the accident leading to their initial indifference? One of the strongest voices to emerge was that of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed Dodi's father. He claimed the British authorities staged the accident to prevent a Muslim from marrying the beautiful princess. According to him, Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, was the mastermind behind British agents killing Diana and Dodi, as he disapproved of their relationship, especially given that Diana's son would be the heir to the throne. The British royal family found it hard to accept the future king of the nation, calling a Muslim man father. Additionally, another car appeared inside the tunnel where the accident occurred, cutting off Diana's Mercedes and forcing driver Henry Paul to swerve sharply. The team of detectives present at the scene also collaborated with British intelligence agency MI6, pursuing Diana's Mercedes closely, which compelled the driver to maintain high speed before entering the tunnel. However, if that were the only evidence, this theory wouldn't have gained widespread support. The accident was also seen by some as a stepping stone for Prince Charles to officially marry Camilla. Indeed, soon after Diana's death, Charles and Camilla gradually went public with their relationship, and by April 2005, their wedding took place with Camilla becoming queen consort. This was a bitter irony for Diana's life. Nevertheless, the police publicly refuted Al Fayed's accusations, calling them entirely baseless. Beyond the accusations leveled against the British royal family, there's also a theory suggesting that the paparazzi deliberately caused the accident. Could simply hounding someone for photos lead to a princess's death? One poll revealed that as many as 43% of Britons blamed the press. Before the incident, Diana was constantly in the media's spotlight with her private life endlessly exploited. At one point, she was even dubbed the most photographed woman in the world, under 24/7 surveillance. This excessive attention became one of the factors contributing to the tragic accident. Even upon arriving in Paris, the paparazzi remained relentless, tracking every move to get the latest scoop on Diana and Dodi's relationship. On the night of the accident, the press were chasing Diana's Mercedes in low-light conditions. These photographers undoubtedly had to use additional flash units to capture the best quality pictures. A series of simultaneous flashes could very well have impaired driver Henri Paul's vision, causing him to panic and inadvertently hit the accelerator. Consequently, the car lost control and the tragic events unfolded as we know. In a documentary released in 2017, 20 years after Diana's passing, Prince William shared that he thought about his mother almost every day. He recalled her lively personality and how she always made sure her sons understood that life was not just confined within the walls of the palace. Diana took her children on public buses, participated in activities at amusement parks, and even visited McDonald's. She wanted her sons to experience the lives of ordinary people and find joy in those simple moments. Diana wanted to ensure that her sons knew they would always be loved no matter what happened. She taught William to live freely and not worry about the future. Her lessons helped her sons feel more connected to the world outside the royal family. Harry, in an interview, shared his special relationship with his mother. He remembered the warm hugs from Diana, the way she would lift him up and hold him tightly in her arms. Each hug from his mother still lives in his memory, carrying her love, even though she has passed away. Diana's sudden death in 1997 left a deep pain for her two sons, with William being just 15 and Harry 12 years old. This loss was an immense sorrow as they lost their mother at such a young age. Harry expressed that he still longs for his mother's presence every day. And despite the passage of time, he continues to remember Diana, the wonderful mother he will always love. Following the French investigation, the British police also launched their own inquiry into Diana's death. 3 forensic experts and traffic accident specialists jointly examined every aspect of the crash, attempting to determine if anything had tampered with the vehicle. Indeed, the possibility of the Mercedes being sabotaged couldn't be ruled out. They even used an identical car to Diana's for comparison, searching for any discrepancies. However, there were no signs whatsoever of anything having been attached or any car parts being damaged. Like most previous lines of inquiry, this one led to a dead end. The police ultimately concluded that no information was found to suggest any external interference with the Mercedes caused the accident. Let's shift our perspective for a moment. If the culprit were one of the 3 people in the car with Diana, then anything is possible. However, the most suspected individual is obviously the driver, Henri Paul, who died at the scene of the accident. What would make him sacrifice himself to cause such a shocking incident? Was Paul a spy for some organization? The biggest question here is whether the driver was actually drunk at the time of the accident. As a security manager, he surely must have understood that he was protecting the lives of a superstar like Diana and the son of a notorious billionaire. He had to know that drinking before driving could be dangerous, and Paul certainly understood the severe consequences he'd face if anything happened to these 2 important individuals. Not only that, but Paul's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. This detail has caused much debate to this day, as at the very least the other people in the car could have detected the driver's impairment through body odor or flushed skin. Would Diana truly trust a drunk driver to help her escape the paparazzi? When investigators spoke to those close to him, Paul was known as a responsible individual, always performing his duties well and prioritizing the protection of human lives. So could the police's conclusion be flawed? Some conspiracy theories suggest that Paul's blood test results were falsified. Blood samples were taken both at the time of the accident and during the autopsy. Therefore, the possibility of the samples being switched could certainly be considered. This passing symbolized the shattering of a royal dream and the erosion of trust in the powerful forces behind the curtain. Yet it also showed that mystery always exists behind the glamour and power. Therefore, we can only believe that the princess tragically died in a traffic accident rather than for any other reasons or conspiracies. Despite the challenges, Diana maintained her dignity and confidence. She dedicated herself to raising her children and engaging in charity work. Even in the face of loneliness and dissatisfaction from some royal family members, Diana used her fame to raise awareness about social issues and challenge royal norms. She openly expressed her emotions in public, something that some members of the royal family disagreed with, but it won her widespread admiration from the public. Diana's time in the royal family was not just filled with glamorous events and media attention. She endured many personal struggles and tensions within the palace. Although she gained the affection of the public, not everyone in the royal family was fond of her. Diana learned many valuable lessons during those challenging years, and she maintained her resilience even when facing strained relationships and loneliness within the royal family. Despite facing countless challenges and not always being accepted, Diana remained true to herself until her death. This is why she is always remembered with deep admiration. Diana endured incredibly difficult times within the palace, yet she was consistently loved. So after exploring the significant details surrounding the accident together, we can see that the truth might be far more complex than what was publicly revealed. This incident remains full of mysteries and will likely forever be a part of history that we can't fully explain. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts, like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you don't miss our next fascinating stories. We'll see you in the next interesting tales.